Do you watch episode 5?
Yeah.
Nice.
I have not watched Game of Thrones all the way.
How dare you?
The last one I saw was the actress change.
Why?
Because I watched Andor. We're rewatching Jersey Shore, so I'm busy.
Fuck off.
I'm kidding.
That comes second. That comes fourth.
No, it's above.
No. Shit. All right. There we go. What's that?
Where's the chat?
Chat. No one chats.
You didn't even click it.
I don't want to.
Spectral fuckery.
There we go. Oh wow, there's a trailer out for the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, Kerner shared it. I haven't clicked on it yet.
You wanna watch it?
No. Or we can watch it live.
Yeah, let's do that. Well, we're live now, but you know what I mean. I'm not gonna do it today. I think it's just like I got freaking see ya. Oh fuck. Alright, hang on, I'm on the wrong account.
Oh yeah, have you played Overwatch 2?
I did last night.
Oh, how does Mario look? He looks fucked. Mushrooms. Featuring Jack Black. Well, you know it's gonna be good at least. Wait, why is it a live thing? No?
I think when they do a live, you can premiere a video
Oh.
and then it appears like it's live streamed, even though it's not.
What's up, Daco?
Daco, type 5 things in a row so that it pops up so I can make sure this is working. And we're gonna watch
5 things in a row.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5. Okay, here we go.
Okay, kids.
Okay, now we go.
Okay, kids. Let's go.
There has been an awakening.
What?
Have you felt it?
What?
Somehow Palpatine returned. Somehow Palpatine returned. Hello.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes I get bored and I just hit all the buttons.
C3 penis face and R2 dickhead. What?
Hello there.
No.
Looking? Found someone you have, I would say.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Good day, Galaxy Rogue Squadron Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am Opar.
I'm Commander Cody. We are here.
We are here.
315.
315.
Episode 315.
Oh.
Numbers. The numbers go up.
Not always.
Somehow, what if we start going backwards?
Somehow the numbers
We're
will
going to
return.
count our way from 315 backwards to 1, and then when we get to 1, the show's over.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Let's start at 500.
That'd be edgy. No sitcom's ever gone backwards numbering. They just started like episode
You know
69.
what type of like animosity that would create?
I'm animosity about it
Like
right
if you were
What do you say? What's the word for that?
animus.
I'm animus about that idea.
No, I think it's a great idea because if you get down to like the teens, you're like, oh my God, we got to wrap this shit up and all this like. There is a certain level of suspense built in to something like that.
Yeah,
I
but
like it.
Then if the show's going well, the studio's going to be like, no, guys, scrap the plan. We got to keep it going.
They ended
The
on,
ratings are great.
ended on 33, bro. What the hell? Where's the missing episode?
These ratings are incredible. You better keep this shit going. We're going into the negatives. We're going episode pi.
So,
Episode radical 2.
Docking Bay, 94.
Well, Andor continues to surprise and delight. So does Game of Thrones. Which you said you didn't see episode 6, so I can't spoil that for you.
Yeah, I haven't seen the
Or
most recent
6? Yeah,
Game of
6.
Thrones. I'm up to date on Andor. Like Commander said, my fuck, it's exactly what we've wanted, and not that that's what they had to give us, but it's different. It's different than what we've seen in the Disney era. Maybe Rogue One set aside.
Yeah.
I would even argue Solo stands alone and it's great because of that, but it still, I feel like, is in that Disney groove. This is like way out. This is like its own fucking path. And I do feel like Rogue One's kind of like started that path, and this is just like the doors are open. The floodgates are open.
Yes.
We're finally getting, I don't even want to call it adult content, but it's along those lines. Mature content.
That's not the right word either, because that gives you sex overtones.
I've seen the boobs.
They're just covered by like a bunch of armor.
No,
And Imperial officer suits.
And in a Disney way, I want to phrase this correctly. They always try to be woke in a lot of what they do, even their animation stuff. Like they try to push the boundaries of what's happening. This, I feel like they're like, no, fuck that. I'm making a good show.
Right.
I don't care what's going on in the world. This is a good show. That's it.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
It's not trying to prove a point that a woman can do a job. It's not trying to prove any other point. It's just like, you know what? This is the fucks, and they're getting fucked.
Right.
Let's view upon. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
And I love the stress and the suspense built in. And I mean, we'll get into more details about the latest episode, but
Yeah.
this is the best launching point episode that I've seen in a long fucking time.
Like the best start to a new series.
No. The most recent episode, like the first 3 or so episodes, it was kind of like a half backstory of Cassian and his current situation and how he's grown, but like his situation hasn't really changed.
Right.
Like he's still fending for himself.
Yeah, still fucking about.
And then we kind of got the doors open because he meets Luthen.
the doors.
The door opens because he meets Luthen, and then he gets thrown into this bastard group.
Yep, bunch of bastards.
And the last episode was like, all right, we're doing this. You're going here. Don't fucking ask questions. This is how. And then it's kind of like,
Don't touch my shit.
It gets that, you get that deep breath, like, and then it ends, and you're like, oh my god, it's gonna fucking blow the doors open. I can't wait. I really can't wait.
We got these ebbs and flows where if you have a show like Kenobi where it's only 6 episodes, you don't really get much of that.
Yeah. It's been slowish, but it's not lacking in drama, which is the whole fucking point.
Because if it's action all the time, then it's like doesn't
Yes.
really matter anymore.
Yes.
You got to have the build to it. Big action scene, and then you kind of come down, and then you have another build. You got to ride the wave.
But it's not a
man.
smooth wave at that. Like the group is at odds, and they're like, "Why the fuck? What is his?
yeah.
What is his name? What's the cover name that Cassian's
Oh, Clem.
Clem? Terrible name." But it's like, oh, none of them trust Clem, but then again, they don't trust each other, and so it's like, and no one knows what the fuck they're doing, and I love it.
I love it too.
When Cassian's dropping knowledge, like, guys,
You don't even know how to fly this fucking ship, dude. What the hell are you talking about?
What do you got? And it's so perfect because that's what a rebellion should be. It should be a bunch of people like, I want to make a difference, and we've got some people that have specialties, but
We're clueless also.
we're also clueless, and a huge stroke of luck is gonna play huge into this. And also, they are banking on the arrogance and the blindness of the Imperials.
Yeah.
Because Imperials are gonna be like, no one's gonna fuck around with us. Of course, that the blonde security lady's kind of catching on, and she's doing her diggings.
Digging.
Same thoughts.
She's be digging in. Yeah, it's interesting to see Cassian come into the group because when he first joins, everyone's like, well, we have this tight-knit group and we have a plan and we don't want any outsiders in this. Like, it's too close to the mission. And then as he starts asking questions and like talking to everybody, you kind of unravel that like, oh, Cassian probably knows more about all this shit than any of them.
Yeah.
And they're kind of almost at odds with each other. Like they're barely holding together.
Yeah. I pulled a couple quotes from this episode because I was like, man.
Yeah, dude. They also mentioned like some other fringe groups too, I think, doesn't he? Or maybe that was last episode.
Well, the security lady was mentioning a bunch of random hits or heists. She's doing all that research on the several. So they talk about Scarif. They threw Jakku out there, and there's Kessel, and of course the big ones that we all know.
Kessel is interesting because Solo just happened, right? Or is it just in the middle of happening? Like that could possibly be Solo fucking around. I don't remember the timeline.
Oh, good point.
I think Solo's about 5 years BBY. No, maybe it's 10 BBY.
Good point. Because what if that? Yeah. What if they were talking
stealing,
about the
yeah.
stealing? Wow, the coaxium.
Yeah, because the Imperials
like
chased him when they got out of there.
I like it. No, if that went over my head because I was just listening for familiar planets at that point when they were rambling. Yeah. But I loved. It was just a cool quote that her and the sidekick Imperial guy that was doing the research with her.
Yeah.
She basically said it's too random to be random, and I was like, oh, I like it.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's
Someone's trying to play it like they don't know as much.
yeah
But they overstepped a little bit. It's now it's too obvious
too obvious that it's random
to someone who's actually paying attention.
But still, that doesn't help the Imperials because it's still gonna remain random. So you don't know where they're gonna.
Well, of course, and then you're gonna have the hierarchy structure. That's what I think fucks the Empire over more than anything.
Yeah, the struggle for power.
Everyone's trying to fuck each
other over.
And it's just like Game of Thrones. I keep going back to that,
Yeah.
and I'm not comparing the two in terms of like better or worse. I'm just saying we haven't had a Star Wars that has felt like this before. So
Yeah.
that's why I keep going back to that. But yeah, same thing with like the king and his small council and the Hand of the King and all the King's Guard and all those families that are around like the court. They're trying to like act like they support the king, but they also want to get a leg up and they want to make sure their family's taken care of. And
Yeah.
we're seeing a bit of that in the Empire.
No, there's no loyalty
That
to
always
each
screws
other.
them over, though, man.
There's no loyalty, but you also see the no loyalty aspect in, they're loyal to the cause, but what the fuck's the cause?
Yeah.
Like, they talk about it and we know what it becomes eventually, but at the point where they're talking about this quote unquote cause, it's like,
Yeah.
what? Fuck the Empire? Is that just the cause? Like,
And they're so scared and they're so tense and they've all been fucked over by the Empire and they don't trust anyone. Like, one of the biggest payoffs of this show, I think, is going to be, I'm assuming Mon Mothma, like uniting all of these like splinter groups
Yeah.
into something that actually matters, like getting her political sway on board to like bring everyone together. Because if all of the other groups are acting the way that this group that Cassian is with on Aldhani, they're all fucked. Like they need someone in the leadership role to like pull everyone together.
and
so
I think that's what Luthen's
that's
trying
gonna
to
be
do.
Awesome. Yeah.
Luthen's trying to do that under Mon Mothma, but Mothma's just like, I can't do all of this because I'm going to be the first person that they point at, and
Well,
it's all going to become.
We still don't really know, which is what I love.
Dude,
It's,
and
it's so vague. It's like she's like, I'm being followed. Like we need someone to help. I need money, but I can't move it.
Mm-hmm.
We still don't know how deep she is, or if she's like in control. Because we see like we have that deleted scene from Revenge of the Sith with her and Bail, Organa, and Padme. And then we obviously know where Mon Mothma ends up at Rogue One when she's leading the rebellion, but like we don't know how deep she is yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know we have 3 or 4 seasons of this thing, so it's gonna have to unravel over time.
Oh man, I'm just so vested, man. I want to see the next episode.
I'm so ready, dude. I love it.
I love the band of characters that Cassian's with. Every single one, especially the one that's like hyper questioning Cassian, the shorter hair guy with he just looks like a psychopath.
It's always got his shirt off.
I fucking love that character. And it's such a, like, I don't need to know what happens before this or after this. He said his piece where...
And I don't even know his name.
It's like...
Still love him.
Scrim or Skeen.
Skeen. He's be skeening.
No, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, dude.
Because he's such a believable character.
Yeah.
Like, he just doesn't trust anybody. And Cassian's high on his shit list. Like, look... Not only do I not trust you, I don't trust any of these other fucks, but you are just dropped in front of us, and we're supposed to just go with it, and we're planning a fucking rebellion.
Yeah.
And everybody else, there's
We're eating scraps. You getting paid, dude.
right. No, and I love that tension, man. I love it, and I really did appreciate that they put in his quip of the Imperials killed my brother, who's just a farmer, and it was like, but that's all. And one of the other quotes, because that leads me to another quote that I did. Or that I wrote. Everybody has their own rebellion, and I was like, oh.
Yes, that was amazing. I love hearing that.
But it all leads to fuck the Imperials.
Because Cassian hasn't really had his true rebellion yet. You know, he's still kind of like thieving and making cash. He's not fully in, so like he hasn't had his rebellion. Maybe it's this mission.
I also really appreciate that the loot that they're taking is actual loot, and it's not like info or technology or something
like
weird.
a data disk.
Yeah. It's literally they're stealing money from the Empire. And
Yeah.
I'm like, God,
you
that
saw
makes...
that shot in the train where it's just like stacks of like gold coins.
Yeah, and it's like, I like the simplicity, how simple it is.
Yeah.
They need money to fund a rebellion. They need money to pay for ships. They need money.
Robin Hood, baby.
I love it. Robin.
Oh,
Hood.
they be robbing shit, dude.
I've never.
They be robbing the hood. That's
Rob-
where the name came from, right?
No, that's not.
It's an urban legend.
Any what?
So I was thinking this the other day when I was watching it, and picture, if you will, let's go back in time and create a splinter in the multiverse. Let's say Rise of Skywalker happens.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
And it's not our favorite thing. But let's say 6-9 months after Rise of Skywalker, Cassian Andor comes out. And it's the first Disney Plus Star Wars show. I feel like fandom is in a totally different place.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you could still even have the Mandalorian come after that. But like having that kind of
Balance.
reaffirm everything for Star Wars fans that like Disney knows what they're doing. And I think they know what they're doing. I will begrudgingly say I think they know what they're doing. I don't know what these whole fucking this rocky start was. Like they're making
I truly think it's they felt the need. They had to do
Some fan
7, 8, 9.
service?
No, 7, 8, 9. They had to.
Well, I'm talking about between 9 and our current present time.
So you're talking about Bad Batch, Obi Kenobi.
all the shows, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Disney was like, we're gonna make a fan film, but with Lucasfilm resources.
That's
It's
what
kind of what it
Obi
was
Kenobi
like.
feels like. It's just a fan film.
And it's like cool in a certain way. That's the weird thing about that is, as fans, like we want that. Like you think, hey, Kenobi and Vader are gonna duel again, and we're like, oh my god, like nostalgia for Episode 3. This is gonna be awesome. But I don't think we really do want that.
No, it doesn't
I
add
think it
anything.
sounds like we want that, but what we really want is Cassian Andor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is counterintuitive because, like, if you asked, that's why I was always shitting on you about complaining about the fan service in Mando. But I see what you mean. Kind of in retrospect, it's like fan service is what we think we want, but we don't actually want it.
No,
it's
no.
like candy, but we need fucking meat and potatoes.
I'd rather have meat and potatoes.
I would have potato candy, prune candy.
Prune candy. No,
That's my piece on Lucasfilm strategy.
at this point, none of that matters. I don't give a shit. I don't. As it sits right now, the most rewatchable series is Andor by far.
We're 5 episodes in.
And we're 5 episodes in.
Yeah, that first 3 episode arc is so good.
It's not even close in my mind.
That was
Like,
one
I
of the
would-
greatest mornings of my life.
I would rewatch Mando maybe, but even the first season of Mando feels like late 70s clunky storytelling.
You gotta skip a couple, I think.
Yeah. Is that weird that it felt like they tried to go clunky just because Star Wars was clunky in the 70s, and it's like, well, Boba
Yeah.
Fett's an OT character, so we got to make it bad.
Well, I think Lucas fuck you. I think Lucas started with the Western samurai influence, and maybe people felt like in the prequels, love him or hate him, he definitely kind of veered away from that style. So I feel like maybe they were trying to kind of harken back to the original roots. Not necessarily like bad production because it was 77 and no budget, but more like, yeah, like gunslinger, Western, samurai, cowboy shit.
But this, you're right, because I think Star Wars is it stood alone back then, at least, because it's like a sci-fi fantasy. But now it's like a sci-fi drama. That's what we've gotten with Andor.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wartime suspense drama,
political crime.
thriller. Dude, it's all of it. We haven't even got any action outside of Cassian killing the first 2 dudes in the first episode.
Right.
That's a complete lie because they had that.
I was going to say the
shootout.
whole escape in
The
episode
shootout.
3. Yeah.
But that was like still
Half
low
of the 3rd
key.
episode. Yeah.
It was, it wasn't anything big, but that's the whole
I mean,
point.
no fucking like Imperial walkers or like lightsabers or anything like that.
God, dude, one of my favorite parts of all of Andor is how terrified they are of the Imperials.
Mm-hmm.
Every time a TIE fighter comes, everyone's like, oh,
Dude.
God.
Totally different vibe.
Terrified.
As opposed to seeing it in the X-Wing cockpit.
Dude, I feel like in the OT, they would have been like, there they are, let's get him. And you're like, no. You should be terrified of that because that's a death machine.
Watch out, Red 5. Where you going?
Yeah, that's it. Now, it's different circumstances because that's one-on-one war right now where it's like, oh, we're building towards that. So I get it, but I love it.
It's also them being on the ground. On foot compared to like being
Han Solo would have started
fighter to
blasting
fighter.
away.
Yeah,
Fuck
just
him, like,
start fucking shooting.
start
at him.
shooting like he does because he's a fucking moron.
Well, I will say I don't mean this to shit on Rogue One, but there is that two scenes where Chirrut turns his staff into a crossbow and takes out a TIE fighter by his goddamn.
But he uses the Force. It's
Right.
not. Yeah,
Kyber crystals,
I get it. Yeah,
Wookiees, and Jar Jar.
it's always been a half eye roll for me. Like, pff, of course he fucking did.
Yeah,
He's blind, but he has the Force, so he can do that. So it's like whatever.
but maybe that also speaks to your point. Is like Cassian knows what he's doing. He's a general or he's a captain at that point.
Captain.
And they have like a base and like a fleet and shit. So maybe they're a little less scared. They're just doing like standard ass X-wing operations.
Well, and of course, because we're seeing it play out now, Cassian has been in this for a long fucking time and does know more than probably 99% of everybody. Outside of Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'm not even
Where are
lying.
you going with this?
Who knows more about how to fuck the Imperials over than Cassian Andor?
mean,
in all of the rebellion.
Right now, all that we know is that he stole one of those fucking transcoder things from them. He hasn't really gotten down and dirty, you know? That's the only thing that we know that he's done so far, is steal that fucking little black box.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, he clearly knows their tech, how it works. He even knew that navigator, which is also a side point, which I love the depth of this story, where the nerdy guy in the group that Cassian's in busted out that like Polaroid machine that was like a navigation machine, but he's like, this is free. It's not being tracked, traced, hacked, or anything. This is what the Imperials don't want.
Right.
And I love that
It's basically the Star Wars version of like a written map.
Yeah. But I love that they put that in there. That the Imperials are trying to get rid of all that. Like, oh, we'll give you a map. Here it is. Don't use that old map.
Yeah.
It's useless.
It sounds eerily similar to some things that happen in our real world.
Yeah.
Like your phones.
Like iPhones.
Right. Like everything's tracked at all the time, forever.
Yeah.
This is being monitored by Alex Jones right now. Globalist control.
Globalist.
Kerner knows.
I also like the lieutenant, captain, colonel,
The
whatever.
guy that's on their side?
Yes, the guy
Yeah,
that's
he's
on
really
the
cool.
Imperials.
I forgot for a second. I'm not going to lie. I thought when we saw him back at the base, the first scene, I just thought that we were introducing ourselves to a new Imperial officer. And I was like, oh, wait, he's the undercover guy.
He's the undercover guy.
Like, he's
it
really
took me a
good at
second
being
too.
undercover.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
and
he's
you
a
see,
savage.
but it's nice to see the strings pulled. Like he's doing his thing behind the scenes, saying, "Okay, we need a half crew tomorrow for this, and this, and go paint that thing again." And
Paint
you're
the
like,
fucking thing, go on vacation.
yeah, and it's like, oh my god, yes. So he's pulling the strings behind everything. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
It takes a stroke of luck, and everything needs to go right for the rebellion to make a change.
Yep.
But we know it's going to happen. Now the nice thing is, we've built up these characters around Cassian, and it totally makes sense that a lot of these people are going to get fucked right out of the gate. Like this is not going to go well.
That little kid's going to die.
I hope so. The Manifesto Kid.
What?
Yes, dude. He's writing communism.
I love it.
He's going out.
I love it.
He's getting taken
I
out.
really do. I
Capitalism
love.
is going to smash him.
I love the dichotomy of this group. Like everybody has their own little thing, and then like Cassian himself's the glue. He knows a little bit about all of it,
Barely, dude.
but he does.
Well, no, he does, but like he's not gluing anyone together quite yet. I think once they see him in action, they'll be like,
Oh yeah,
oh, okay. I got it.
because they're trying to pull Han Solos, like just pull it out of their ass. We're gonna go in there, steal everything, and everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And it's like Cassian's like, guys,
They don't have plus 10 luck.
all
though.
of my family have been murdered, and all of my friends have been murdered because they tried to Han Solo it. So chill the fuck out. Who's Han Solo?
Yeah, they're like, what the fuck?
So Skeen, Skeena, when he was yelling at Cassian
Yeah.
about not trusting him and all this shit, and they were talking about, I'm not scared and all this, and he's like, you should be scared. I'm scared.
I'm pissing my pants right now.
Skeen was trying to. Well, the quote is, I'll just say the quote. He said, "If you want out, then just go. Don't make me the excuse."
Yes,
And I love that line because it was like, you're not truly mad at Cassian. You're just terrified at what might happen, and you're
Right.
pointing at him. But it's like
he's the easiest target for you to
yeah,
get mad at.
Cassian said it perfectly. He's like, you clearly this wasn't because of me. You've had this inside you. You're just
Yeah.
so if you want to fucking leave, leave.
Right. Well, at least get it out before the mission starts, you fucks. Before you figure out how to fly a freighter that you don't know how to fly.
Who creates a plan to fly a freighter out when no one knows how to fly a freighter?
You turned into Professor McGonagall for a second.
I know.
Harry Potter!
Dude, get this. I'm gonna steal a car. Do you know how to drive a car? No. But I'm gonna steal one.
Well, how do you start it? I don't know. Do you have the keys? What are keys?
No. There's buttons. We'll use those.
Do you know how to open the doors? What are doors?
We'll use the Force.
That's not how the Force works, though.
That TIE fighter buzzing them was awesome. Yeah, dude, it's so
Terrifying, dude.
It's
I love
terrifying.
it. I love it.
And you feel it as a viewer. Like you're terrified for these characters who are terrified and don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Matt also said he loves the ISB scenes. Yeah, man. I love seeing that shit.
The
I
ISB is
love-
the security
Yeah.
bureau.
That's the same thing
white
that
coats.
Galen Erso was working for. That's making
yeah.
the Death Star and shit. And that's also, I think, at the end of Bad Batch where they drop that Camino in off is the ISB, secret ISB, cloning
Is that-
Palpatine and shit.
Is the ISB the people that are in charge of Grogu's blood in
I believe
Mando?
so. I
Or a
believe so.
faction of that, maybe? Yeah.
Yep, I believe so.
I love it.
Yeah, it's cool. The fact that we're cutting across multiple characters at multiple locations, I think is something that I've always missed from a show. Like, I could be messing this up, but correct me if I'm wrong. In Mando, we pretty much stay with Mando the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there like a side episode or anything like that?
Now it's following Mando around.
I think the fact that we get to jump around, we
Yeah.
go from Luthen and Mon Mothma, we get to go to the ISB, we go to Aldhani with Cassian.
We get the flashbacks.
Flashbacks. We get to, I can't remember the name of the first planet that they're on, but we see a bit of that, and then we also see that that corporate officer that is now stuck with his mom, getting fucking bitched at all day.
Dude,
I feel so bad for that dude now.
but look how badass Coruscant looks.
Yeah, Coruscant's awesome, dude.
Dude,
It's amazing to see it like New York and not
Yeah.
like a polished, like perfect Star Trek city or something.
I thought the smallest little details when the Scorn officer's living with his mom and he's sitting there
Yeah.
and he sees that light, the sun,
Yep.
and then it just goes away right away, and you're like,
That's it. That's his whole life.
beautiful.
Cassian coming onto his desk as a task was that little ray of sunshine, and he fucked it up. Get it?
No.
What?
I still think he's going to turn to the rebellion, and I'm very curious about his character now that I didn't know if he was going to be out after that first little arc, like he failed and he was going to be out of the show, but I'm glad that we're sticking with him.
With the officer, you're saying?
I can't remember his name. Cyril Karn.
The only, and I'm not mad at it, I'm not really sure where it's going yet, is Mon Mothma's family scenes. Obviously, there's tension, and maybe her husband and daughter aren't on board with the whole rebellion thing, or they don't understand it, or they don't know how involved their mom is. Or
Well, I don't think they know about it yet.
see, that's what they're clearly like questioning Mothma, mom, and they're like, well, you're just doing it for the
Yeah.
show and all this, and
Yeah.
she's clearly like, I want to be like, no, I'm doing it for all of us, bitches. Like, come on. But
Yeah, I think what's going on is she's working as a senator, and then she's also working as part of the rebellion. So she's probably working overtime, and she never sees her family, and
Yeah.
she can't tell them about the rebellion or anything. So they think that she's just trying to like work her way up through the Senate or something.
Yeah.
And spend all her
No,
time on
she's
politics.
never- she's
and,
never
like, they're
home.
pissed, right?
Yeah.
But in the back of her mind, she's like, I'm fucking I'm doing double the work. I'm undercover. I'm
but she
getting
can't
followed.
She can't tell them anything because that'll
Exactly.
just endanger them. Yeah.
Especially your fucking dumbass husband who's inviting. Did you catch that, by the way? I didn't catch it until I watched Alex's video. But one of the people on his dinner party list is The bald chick next to Palpatine. He's like chief of staff. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna invite these Sith Lords over for fucking dinner.
I mean, they don't know.
I didn't catch that until afterwards, and I was like, oh my god, dude, that's high up there.
Just trying to like.
That's like, I'm gonna invite Tarkin over for lunch.
Oh yeah.
That's fucking high up the ranks, man.
Yeah, yeah. They're just trying to get some like wings. Order! We shall have wings. Order!
What?
What? I love it, man. I love it.
It's perfect.
Nothing is.
It's perfect. You heard me? It's perfect. 10 out of 10.
Nothing's obnoxious.
Not yet.
No, and I truly mean that. Everything feels fresh. Everything feels like it has a point and a purpose to further the story or expand the universe. And it's not obnoxious where it's like, oh, this is on screen for the viewer and that's fucking it. And that's the
Yeah.
and we don't need to go into it. But I like that it's fresh. Everything that I see, I don't need to recognize the stupid speeder that they're in, that they're flying around Coruscant in. Like, it's nice that it looks goofy. And
It
I
was
don't
Anakin's pod racer, right? Re-outfitted as a speeder.
Yeah.
Teleported to Coruscant.
I also haven't been watching like reviews or reactions to it because I'm sure there's stuff on screen that like, oh, they pulled that speeder's in episode 2 and it's next to the one that Anakin stole, and it's like, but I don't care. It doesn't add anything.
The only
for me.
big thing is Alex did a rundown of all the stuff that's in Luthen's shop,
Oh yeah.
which is a perfect thing. Like, he owns this shop. It's a cover, like almost like a mob cover. It has like a casino or something.
Yeah.
And all that stuff's in the background. And there's a couple things from Force Unleashed, and there's something from Clone Wars or Bad Batch or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like in the background. Nothing jumped out at me as something that I recognized.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't obnoxious, but like if you wanted to dig into it, be like,
Yeah.
oh, that armor's from here that has this history.
Right.
If you wanted to,
Right.
I like it.
And some people want to, and that's cool. But some people don't.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't matter to me.
I think them filming in the UK has a lot to do with the vibe.
Man, the sets
Because
or whatever.
A lot of stuff was, everything that wasn't on location pretty much, I think, was filmed in the UK for all the movies.
I have noticed nothing out of place.
Yeah.
Every single thing feels so good.
Yeah.
It looks great, man. I have zero complaints about.
I just can't tell you how happy I am that we're sitting here raving about something and not shitting all over it.
Yeah.
Feels so good. And I was getting worried for a second. I was like, am I a Star Wars fan still? I was like, we were complaining about so many things. I was almost having an existential crisis. Like, goddamn, like every episode we're just talking about fan film this and Easter egg that. And I was getting a little pissed at myself, and I was like a little worried. But no, it was the content. It wasn't me.
Well, and Matt's saying
I'm perfect. My opinions are right. That's what I needed to know.
Now you're on my level.
Yeah.
Matt's saying they're downplaying the Easter eggs, which is like a lesser director would focus on the Easter eggs, and I think that was the issue. Like,
Tony Gilroy not being a huge Star Wars fan is the best thing to happen to Star Wars.
I agree.
So we need to pull some random ass people that have like made. I saw episode 4 when I was 7 years old, and let them make movies, or series or whatever.
And let them make movies too. This
Both.
actually, it because this is so good, it gives me reservations for the other stuff that's in the future that is by very big Star Wars. So like the Rogue movie or the Rogue Squadron movie.
Canceled.
Is it fully canceled?
Yeah, I was going to talk about it a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
Like officially, because I guess like it got delayed or whatever, and then Disney leaves it on the slate like temporarily just in case, and they finally took it off of like the slate.
this is how you create a real life Joker. Is you you promise everything and deliver nothing, and then you just start laughing at yourself until you start cutting heads off. You're like,
Commissioner Gordon, if you're listening, take note. Mopar is the Joker. Confirmed. He's gonna, he's gonna be start Glasgow smiling everyone.
I can't. Andor's it, man. Andor's it. I would love to see. Now, I'm curious to see how FedEx and Fucko feel about, because they don't like the actor of Cassian, Diego Luna Diego Luna. I forget his name. I don't mind him. I don't think he's the greatest actor, but I think he's believable enough because I think Cassian is. He's not like
He's not in your
a
face.
template. He's not like a template character. Like he doesn't fit anything. He's just kind of his own.
Yeah.
He's like a scrambler. Like he just does shit. He knows some stuff. I don't even know what to. That's what I'm saying. I'm struggling to classify.
The scramble. That's a ride at the fair.
That's what
Scrambler.
he is. That's what he is. We've seen him.
Cassian's at the county fair, dude. You've seen him before. No, he is like he's reserved, especially now. I mean, he's a little more out front in Rogue One, but he's like standing because the scene that I loved was when he knows how everyone shoots the gun, right-handed, left-handed, because he stands in the back and he observes everything. He's like a fucking ninja or something. Like he knows this guy's right-handed, this guy's left-handed. He walks like this. He has a limp. Like he knows everyone's little quirks. So when it comes to the right time, he knows like the buttons to push to survive.
The shit hits the fan expert. Like he's
Yes.
he's just waiting for that to happen. So he's
Correct.
constantly observing like, where's
Yes.
my way out?
Right, the opposite of Han Solo, who
Right.
is just making it up on the fly and like has plus 10 luck, so he gets out of it. But no, so Cassian, he's not in your face a lot. Like he kind of sits back, and then when something comes up, like dude goes for his necklace.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going through his pack, then he jumps in and like freaks out and he has something to say. Or when they're trying to ask him how to fly the freighter or whatever, he starts to get pissed because he's like, you guys have no clue what you're doing. That's when he really comes out. But I
love
think
it.
a lot of the time he's reserved. So like it seems maybe at first glance that he's like is he the main character? Because he's really not doing much. But
Well, he's clearly
at,
the main
at the right
character.
times. I know. I'm just saying. For
I-
instance.
I like it. I like that it's not a perfect group. And I know
It's a perfect show.
there's a lot of flaws. That's the nice thing that they've laid out. Mon Mothma, flawed.
Right. No happy dancing in this
Luthen,
show.
fucking flawed / terrified and flawed and fucked up and flawed.
And we don't even know the full extent of him yet, but his assistant got pissed.
Dude, yeah.
Get off the radio, dude.
Yeah, and
You can't hear anything anyways.
and he's like, I think I fucked up because I brought this Cassian kid along on board. I saw potential in him, but he might just completely... Dude, he could just rob. What stops Cassian truly...
Keeping the crystal.
From keeping
and-
the crystal and just, booking
Right,
it.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, something, because I think he knows Cassian's not like a horrible person.
Well, and that
He's a thief, but he's not like a villain. if that makes
Right,
sense.
and but that's the people that the rebellion need.
Yeah.
Because thieves are experienced.
Right.
And they're knowledgeable. And they know which way people shoot guns. They do. And they know how to fly a freighter.
I was trying to think of an analogy. He's like James fucking Bond.
And we
Just
even,
he's not banging every girl.
we even said that about Luthen. Like, he walked in when he picked Cassian up, and it was that
yeah, we
James
did.
Bond
We did,
Batman scene.
We did.
And he does have that kind of stroke of, I know enough to get by. I'm not a genius. I'm not a fucking technology savant. But you walk in, he's like, okay, this does that, and I can use it this way to my advantage to get out. Or, these people think this, so I'm gonna. He leverages what's in front of him, which is great, and we've never really seen that.
Bond is not the right person I'm thinking of.
Batman.
I can't think of it, but I'm remembering a scene from a movie or a show where it's like someone walks in and doesn't say anything, and then somebody asks them something. They're like, well, there's a back door there, and there's a bomb on this front door, and there's something above us on the roof, and I'm just blanking on what it was from. It'll come to me like tomorrow morning, and I'll text you like, God damn it.
Well, Luthen said that when he walked in.
I know, but I'm thinking of something else. Like maybe it was Mission Impossible. I don't know. I'm trying to relate it to Cassian, but yeah.
Is it Rush Hour? Jackie
Right.
Chan?
I think it was. Yeah. Junta.
Chris Tucker.
Junta. It's a very, very good show.
I also really, really like the main chick that's the leader of the group. Also, I'm really excited to see what the two girls are going off separate to do.
Oh yeah.
Because they're breaking off, and it's like, they haven't detailed that at all.
Nope.
They're like, you guys walk
mystery.
in and just get killed, and us two girls are just going to fly away with all the money.
We're gonna take the payroll and peace out, dude.
Could you imagine if they did get in there and they start...
Yeah. Switch sides. Traitoring.
Well, I'm just saying, like, the girls... Not the girls in particular, but, like, they get in there and, like, well, if we just say fuck the guys...
Keep
I
all
know
the money
Cassian told me how to... Yeah, Cassian told me how to fly the freighter. Why do we have to wait for them?
He didn't though. He
wow,
said,
that's
"I'm
true.
flying the freighter."
I like that because he puts him in not only in control to make decisions, but like he has to be there at the end.
Right.
So he's almost saving himself by saying, "I'm gonna fly it."
Yep. And not telling them how. It's like, I have to do it. Yeah, Luthen, I think Luthen must have known that the team was unprepared.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point of having Cassian
Yeah.
in there. He's like, that, and that's why he's so nervous, probably. He's like, the Vel is not ready for this shit.
And that's what I'm saying, that Cassian's the glue guy. Maybe not morally or...
They don't even realize he's glue yet.
Right.
Luthen knows he's glue.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he's there just to...
I feel that.
He's the double checker.
I thought you were going to say double chin. He's the double chin.
Oh, yeah. He's... Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah. He's yeah.
Oh man, it's a great series, man. I am full on. I would argue, I am more excited about Cassian Andor, and I said this a fucking year ago. I'm excited for Cassian Andor. It's the only one, and I know Ahsoka's on the fucking docket.
And Tales of the Jedi.
And Tales of the Jedi, which but that's gonna be more fan service, prequel. I know what it's gonna look like. Like it's gonna be fun to watch, but it's not gonna be groundbreaking. Cassian Andor is groundbreaking.
Mm-hmm. Ahsoka is borderline fan service.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think she skirts the line because we're just getting her in live action for the first time ever. So the fact that it's a crossover into live action feels almost kind of like it's new. And then obviously she's only from Clone Wars and Rebels, so I think the fans at large, like outside of like hardcore Star Wars fans, probably don't know who she is, or like have just barely heard of her. So for them, I think it's like a new character, or new enough. You know what I mean? That it's not like, hey, Obi-Wan Kenobi's back.
But I think what they could do with Ahsoka going forward with her own show is what the little snippet in Obi-Wan that we saw where he's hiding from every fucking thing. It's just going to be that expanded where she's trying to find her way still, and like who should she tell or trust, or where should she help, because she doesn't want to bring too much attention to herself.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, if I kill some First Order people, that's going to bring attention to myself. If I help some Resistance people, that's still going to bring attention to myself. So how do I manage this? I think that could be really good, and it's not really hitting that fan service stuff. But of course, because being Ahsoka, it's just going to be wrapped into Jedi stuff, Obi-Wan, Anakin, Thrawn.
Thrawn's going to be the main thing, yeah.
The Thrawn thing might be the thing to carry us through, though, because I don't think that's, even as huge Star Wars fans, Thrawn is that untouched fan service, per se. But it's like they could literally do anything with Thrawn.
Interesting.
He could be terrifying.
I would like for him to be terrifying. He
could be the Tarkin we always wanted and never got. And I know we did get a little bit.
Tarkin, yeah.
But he because he was killed off in the first movie, the sprinklings we've gotten from.
Like, I almost think that's even better if you get.
I agree. But that's the nice thing that they can do with Thrawn is take that and like expand it and make him fucking terrifying in a military way, the way that Vader feels, but just from a chiss. He's not force sensitive. He's just terrifying.
Right.
I want that little baby Yoda's blood because I want to murder everyone.
Not even talking about bringing Palpatine back.
Why? Because my dick's blue. All right. Now get over it.
Rock hard for anger. Off of what you said about Kenobi and hiding, I think I don't even know if I am against the idea of like the Kenobi show, like the concept of it. I think it's more the execution, and I think the one thing I want Disney to take away from the success of Andor is like they can let things draw out over a longer period of time. Like imagine if Kenobi was like 12 episodes.
Oh, dude.
And Vader didn't show up until like episode 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like we got a lot more time with. Part of the reason is we don't need it because we know who Kenobi is. But I feel like that played out so quick. You could easily tell that it was supposed to be a movie and it became a series. But they could have executed that differently. And it would have been perceived differently and not had that fan film feel.
I think they put themselves in a box because the story that was written was Leia. And you're like, how many fucking episodes can we do with child Leia running around.
You could have had a bunch if she only got kidnapped once. You know what I mean? Like, you could have found more shit for her to do to develop her character.
I disagree. I don't know how much I can handle of child Leia and hiding Obi-Wan. Like, there's only so much there. And I do think they did right with that relationship because they do those sprinklings. Oh, your mother, I see the mother in you. And and that's like, whoa.
Yeah, that's
and they did that, but I don't need that 12 episodes. I don't know. I kind of disagree. And not that I disagree. I just think they put themselves in a box when they wrote the story because it's like, well, we can only fill 6 episodes.
Just announcing Kenobi would put them in a box. You know what I mean? And announcing Boba Fett, which is so weird to say because I know I always supported them taking the Marvel approach, but I think I don't know. It's hard to gauge if it's like if it was the slate of characters that they chose or if it was the execution of it.
You know what would really put Andor over the edge?
What's that?
Is if it wasn't called Andor. That's where I thought you were going with that, where this movie's called Aquaman. It's about Aquaman. Yeah. Dude, if Andor was just called like
The Rebellion.
Well, not even, because that's still just labeling what it is. But, you know, come up with something creative. I don't know.
I do have to say Game of Thrones is one of the best names for anything I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah. Call it
and it's not even the original name of the series.
Call it Galaxy of Guns.
Starfields of sultriness.
It
is a weird choice. Like, obviously he's our lead character.
Well, look what we've got. Ahsoka, Andor, Obi-Wan, Boba Fett, even The Mandalorian. You're like, okay, I wonder what this is going to be about.
Yep.
But wouldn't that be fun if there was just like, this is a Star Wars show and it's called Junebug.
It's a step. It's a step for them leading towards that, where they can just name a show based on a scenario or like an area that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah.
They feel like they have to have it led by someone that everyone knows.
Dude, call it The Cause.
Fuck. The Path, dude.
The Path. Yeah. See? But that's the seeds that were planted in Obi-Wan.
I sent our fucking resume, dude.
I know.
Don't look at me like that.
That's the seeds they planted in Obi-Wan. That's perfect. Call it The Path or The Way or Not The Way or go backwards.
Everyone leave Lucasfilm a negative review on Glassdoor until they hire us.
The show's called No U-Turns.
Man. Yeah, I wonder how it's going to change future projects. Like, obviously, Tales of the Jedi is about to be out. Bad Batch Season 2 is almost out. So those are probably set in stone. But I wonder if this is going to influence any of the directors in their future projects. Mando Season 3 is obviously already done, too. But
yeah. I can't.
What?
The director's done so fucking well with this show, even outside of character development and, you know, scene building.
Yeah.
Like when the ragtag group is like sitting around a campfire, I just trust it. It feels, it's that like
humans in the world,
yeah.
not humans on a green screen.
Yeah, it does feel authentic, but it also has that like little like background kookiness. Like when they're sitting around wearing fucking helmets and I don't know what we're all wearing like Moss t-shirts and shit, and you're like, all right, well this is like clearly 1977.
I would like a Moss t-shirt, dude.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it felt.
Yeah, they're wearing like animal skins.
Yeah,
they look like the wildlings from Game of Thrones, kind of.
It almost feels like the Ewok movies. Like set wise,
yeah.
It feels It's like
tangible.
Yeah, there's a word there that I just don't know.
There's real shit there. They're out in the fucking world.
They're in the environment.
And I understand that you can't technically do that with the budget or with the production for every single show ever. But there's no way around the fact that it's just noticeable.
Yeah. Oh, it's apparent. It's punching you in the face. Like,
yes. This
is all real.
Right.
They are breathing this air. This is a fire. They're wearing
well, I would
shit.
say I would say it in the other direction. Like this feels like the way it's supposed to be, and the other ones are punching you in the face. Like this is not actually happening.
Yeah.
This is 20 miles outside of Los Angeles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wonder if actually I was thinking about that yesterday. I wonder if people in the UK don't have that same feeling because they're like, yeah, this is just what it looks like over here, dude. Like that was just in Scotland. Like it's no big deal. Whereas for us, it's like, oh, that was just outside of Los Angeles. Like it's just a fucking desert.
But to me, it doesn't matter as long as it works. And I thought in Obi-Wan, it didn't work. It wasn't believable. It literally did feel like they were just over a hill, so you couldn't see the lights of Los Angeles. And
Obi-Wan, I didn't mind as much as it was Boba Fett and Mando for me.
It didn't feel like everything had a purpose. And I keep driving that train because it's like everything I look at on screen in Andor is there for a reason because people prior in the galaxy created that.
Right.
In Boba Fett, I really feel like, oh, it's on screen for the viewer and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's such a shallow viewing. Like there's no culture. And I keep coming back to that word too, culture. It feels everything has a purpose. There's culture behind all of this. You know, even the planet that they're on, it feels like, okay, this used to be farmland that was invaded. Now they're all and it's like, I completely believe all that.
Right. He has a couple sentences of backstory for the planet. That's all you need. Yeah.
Because you know what? We're going to experience the planet as things unfold.
Right. Yeah, what you said last week or the week before, we knew that Kenobi and Vader had to have a showdown. So it's just like, well, where do you want them to have the showdown?
Yeah.
Not like the story leads them to this planet and it's important because of X and Leia's trapped there and that's where they have the showdown. It's like pick a random planet with rocks that they're going to have a showdown on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the planet was created for the showdown.
Exactly.
Not the planet was there existing and has a history and they end up there and
one of them crash lands on it because they're
Yeah, because a prior war had sensor overloads and they crash land because but none of that. It's like rocks. This planet has rocks.
There's no civilians for them to worry about attacking, and it has rocks.
It really felt way out of place, even though we got to see a badass thing. You're right. We need a rock planet with no civilians. Well, guess what? Bloop, there it is.
I told you I felt weird about the rocks from the first time I saw it, but whatever.
Well, the rocks themselves, yeah. It felt like fan service punching you in the face because all I thought about was Rey lifting rocks.
Punching you in the dick.
The blue dick.
It was I thought about the Rey lifting rocks thing second. First, to me, it was like, how epic can we make the Force look right now? Like, let's make a video game movie, fan film movie, show. That's what I felt. Anyways, we're shitting too much.
What?
Made for series video game. I would play the shit out of an Andor. Like, even if it was linear.
They don't do that anymore, dude.
I love it.
No loot boxes potential in that. Microtransactions.
I'm hyped, man. I know we're at that tipping point because they're fucking sitting outside on the bonfire on the hill. They're like, tomorrow morning, this is it. And what a great send off where Luthen was talking to. I thought it was like his girlfriend or something, but I'm assuming
it might be like his wife or whatever. But she was definitely like the assistant at the store.
Yeah. I love the fact that he's all stressed out and like, I don't know if I did it right or correct or it's going to fuck up. And she's like, well, 24 hours from now, we'll know.
Right.
And it's like, how perfect of a send off to be like, guys, watch the next episode. Yeah. And it's not like a, hey, guess what? Vader and motherfucker are gonna battle next episode.
Land on this empty planet. Best part is that we still got 6 episodes after that.
I am also interested. I'm interested to see. Because we know, well, at least I assume.
I know nothing.
Saw, Gerrera, and Cassian are never going to meet.
It's a good question.
I guess they could, because
he kind of, in Rogue One, he kind of runs into his cave, like, ready to blast him, you know? I don't know.
But Cassian interrogates Jin about Saw. When was the last time you saw Saw? We need an audience with Saw because that was the whole point that they got.
Yeah.
So I don't think Cassian's ever met him.
Interesting.
I guess they could make it work somehow.
Or maybe Saw's group goes underground at some point, like they can't get in touch with them.
Or maybe this is where they
Right, they start
break
disagreeing
off
about this shit.
and
I bet you we don't see Cassian and Saw together this season. I bet Luthen is the one that like reaches out to him.
Luthen seems like he's just the doer, man. He's like,
He's fucking awesome, dude. That actor just brings so much goddamn charisma.
yeah. And whoa,
incredible.
we didn't even talk about that physical transition when he picks up Cassian and he's just like grumbled guard, and then he puts on the
then
fucking
he goes
senator
back-
jacket
yep,
and he's like,
yep.
oh, and you're like, the
Whoa,
fuck
good
was
day
that?
to you, Mon Mothma.
But you know what that made me think of was Padme. Because in the Padme book, she had to do that exact thing where she would talk to her handmaidens
They
and it
all
was
have
just like
to, yeah.
nonchalant. And then as soon she had to put on this, like,
Chancellor Palpatine.
yeah. Well, and we see that with Leia too.
Yeah. Well, Padme does that in the movies too. It's just, it wasn't apparent.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing. I mean, this is a total tangent, but I felt like I had some inkling of Padme and like her role as queen versus senator versus just Padme. But it was Queen Shadow that had to like fill in all those gaps.
Yeah.
Where I feel like now, like the show is giving me all of the gaps.
Queen's Shadow was the one that I read. Queen's Peril is the second one.
Yeah, I haven't read the second
I haven't seen it. Yeah. Okay. Fucko says, wondering where Vader and Palpatine are. That's the last on my list. I don't give a shit.
I hope they...
Like in a curious way, sure, but I don't want to see them or hear about them, honestly.
I could handle like one holo transmission from Vader in like season 3. But
yeah.
I don't want to even pretend they exist right now.
Yeah. It's just too much. And this is set up so well for the everyday man.
Or woman. Or Bantha. Or Ewok.
Sorry, I just hit the reset button now on my whole existence.
Da-da-da-da.
I just don't.
Sorry, I didn't
I'm
mean to interrupt
enjoying the everyday people doing extraordinary things, and I do think that's where.
We got the
Like-
high levels though.
But Mon
We gotta-
Mothma is not
She's in
really,
the Senate. She fucking
dude.
like,
She's not a Jedi.
high class Coruscant.
She doesn't even know a fucking Jedi. Like who really is Mon Mothma? We don't know. She's a senator.
Well, I was going back more to the again a Game of Thrones analogy, but like we have the high lords of all the high houses, but then we also get to see just random fucking farmers and soldiers and shit.
I'll give you this.
No.
If because fucko, and I didn't mean to talk shit, fucko. In a curious way, sure. Like, what are Vader and Palpatine doing? Now, the way maybe they can sprinkle it in is if Mon Mothma has a meeting where Palpatine is involved, because that makes sense, because he's the Emperor.
Honestly, that is more interesting to me. I know that Vader is obviously out hunting Jedi and being the enforcer and being almost like a shadow enforcer this whole time, but we have not seen how the Imperial politics take over from the Republic politics.
We're seeing that actively play out.
We're in, yes, it's in progress right now. But seeing Palpatine in like typical government meetings instead of being a Sith Lord,
Right.
that is fucking interesting to me.
No, I agree. Because if Mon Mothma gets cornered like in a meeting and
Right.
Palpatine's in there, he could almost, because he's all knowing, he's fucking omnipotent. He could almost defend Mon Mothma while simultaneously bringing her down. Because he'd be like, no, we need her. She's great. She's doing this and this for the galaxy. And then behind the scenes, he's like, boop, boop, boop. Vader, fuck them all up.
Start slashing people, please. Yeah, dude.
I think in a political sense, if Palpatine shows up, it could be, epic. In an only a political sense.
Correct. No force lightning. Or
No,
anything.
he can't be floating in.
Yeah, because not everyone knows almost no one knows he's a goddamn Sith.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of potential, man, for them to do a lot of things in the right way.
But the setting is so perfect because if they made me care. They made me care about these nobodies, which I've never cared about the rebellion. That's the nice thing.
Right,
They
no.
made me care about the rebellion.
No
because
more happy dancing.
Yes, thank you. It's the complete opposite. They all hate each other. They don't trust each other. And I still have an inkling that they're going to turn on each other because fuck them.
Yeah, Foco says, want to see them as the 2 chief executive Empire officials. Yeah. CEO and COO. Fucking Empire. Yeah, dude. I think we will. Probably not in the season 1, but I think we will.
I don't want to see Vader on scene.
No.
I don't. It's
No.
not this isn't the story.
Keep him out of it. Palpatine makes sense contextually.
He
Like,
could,
Vader's not going to show up to Coruscant and be like, how's my mail? Check my mail today.
now
Palpatine being there makes more sense. He's in charge.
if
He's like the president. Everyone's around the White House. Like, we're in Washington, D.C. Like, you're going to see the president. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's just part of it. House of Cards.
I'm trying to make it make sense in my head. Like if Vader has to be on scene. Okay. Well,
How are we going to squeeze it in?
how are we gonna squeeze it in? Where is it gonna build upon? Like maybe that security officer who's living with his mom now, like you said, it could be the seeds planted where he actually turns on the Empire, and maybe what makes him turn is he sees Vader do some horrendous shit, and he's like, I can't be a part of that. Mm-hmm. Like Vader comes in and kills his mom.
No, he would sign the fuck up for the Empire, dude.
But you know,
He'd be ready.
But you know, something along those lines, like it needs to lead to something. It can't just be Vader being Vader because we know that. It needs to expand upon something else. So
I hope we don't see Vader. I hope we don't see any lightsabers.
I agree.
Those are 2 things I really just
But
no force.
in the same way, though, because we're not expecting it and we don't want it, that's almost a perfect time to do it. But I agree. Don't do it
tastefully.
Don't do it too much. Don't do it too early.
Right. Don't do it in season 1, but.
I love the idea of casting Andor. I'm sorry. I love the idea of Andor being 12 episodes and possibly 3 seasons long, especially with what we got so far, because it's just like,
It's like 30 hours,
dude, and it's the building of the rebellion, which we love to hate, but my God, is it off to a rough start? And this is what it just makes me appreciate. Well, it actually makes me hate Han Solo more, but you know, what are you going to do?
I think him and Cassian are 2 sides of the same scoundrel coin.
I can agree with that.
Andor is prepared. And
They
tactical.
almost don't know their own.
Han Solo's dumb
They
luck.
don't know their own importance.
Han Solo's like Harry Potter.
That's
He
what?
bumbles around and he just fucking figures it out in the moment.
Oh yeah, killed a troll in a girl's bathroom.
How'd you do that? I don't fucking stabbed his nose. I don't know.
I don't know.
Just happened. Plus 10 luck. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it is. But
Where,
that's
where fucking Cassian has like plus 10 intelligence
yeah.
and dexterity.
He's a little more than that.
And he has no charisma. Han Solo's got charisma and luck.
Yeah.
Cassian has intelligence and dexterity.
Yep.
So I just related it to KOTOR, just in case. Foco does mention Vader also interrogated all top spies and saboteurs. So can you imagine like a Kylo Ren style interrogation with Cassian gets caught and they bump him up the ranks and Vader fucking interrogates his ass? Season 3 or 4. Like finale of season 3, Cassian gets captured. They're bringing that little ball with the needle on it. Do
That's what I don't want.
you want to watch the Super Mario Brothers movie trailer?
No.
Nah, I don't want to.
No. Random side note, I did. Well, I know you just jumping on the gaming news. I know you played a little bit of Overwatch 2. I did buy the Cowabunga collection, and I
Oh yeah.
I tested out TMNT 1 and 2 that was originally for NES. It's great.
Yeah.
It's so hard. It's so hard.
Still.
Oh man, it's
Did you end up getting it for Xbox? or Switch?
enraging. Xbox.
Nice.
Yeah. I just said fuck it because I want to play with a normal controller.
Normal controller.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, the Switch is great, but it's kind of fumbly. Like you're just like, okay, there's a big unit.
Wait, even when you play it on the TV though?
I don't ever play it on the TV actually.
Oh.
That's a good point. I do have the premium or whatever
controller?
the Pro controller. I could do that. I just never.
Yeah.
I bought the Switch not for that. I already have a Pro controller in my Xbox. Like I just play on that.
Right.
You know?
Right. I know
So
what you
I only use my Switch for mobile.
I know exactly what you mean.
Oh man.
I do want to play them. I probably won't buy it for a minute though.
Yeah, I mean you really have to be retro. I mean
got to be in the
They're
right
good,
mood.
They're bad, good games. They're good,
it.
bad games.
And I've only played like 3 Turtles games in my life, so there's probably a couple on there that I've never even seen before.
The first one, it's borderline unplayable. I couldn't.
Like too hard or too stupid?
Too hard. It's too hard.
Yeah.
The first one's an
Games were a
overhead.
different fucking beast back then.
Oh yeah, the first one is an overhead view until you go into the sewers. Then it's a side scroller, but
Right.
it's so you jump so fucking high, and it's so slow that as you jump, like things start flying at you, and you're like, I'm already in the air.
Right, you can't move.
You can't go anywhere else.
Right.
So it's like you literally have to memorize everything, and it's like, oh my god,
See, I do not like games like that.
it's hard. It's really hard. I never got anywhere when I owned it for NES as a kid.
Yeah.
I'd stop playing the first one because the second one was still hard, but you could kind of grind it out. The first one was like, I gotta memorize every single bad guy,
Right.
and each of the turtles have different attacks and have their own advantages and disadvantages. So you need to know what turtle to be at the right time because you can change it on the fly.
Oh, yeah.
Like you could literally be mid jump and be like, nope, I want to be Leo now, and then you can restart and you change to Leo mid jump. But it's like you need to know when to switch and when to use who and against what and when to jump. And you're like, dude, there's too much, too much.
Yeah.
But all that to say, it's smooth. It plays like the retro.
That's good. I have that on the list.
It's fun.
Sitting on the list. Well, that's how Overwatch is. You got to know what the counter is for the certain heroes. You got to know what everyone's
That's
abilities.
not true. You can ramble in. I ramble in every time I play.
I tried to ramble in. Ethan, I don't know if you're still on the stream, but we tried to ramble in last night, and he was pissed, getting triggered,
That's what Ethan
trying
does.
to play like Call of Duty or Halo or something. No, but you have to know like hard counters for the other heroes on the other team, and
Yeah.
you got to know everyone's voice and know what their powers are, so you can avoid it and shit. But it's good, man.
But is it? You said it's just like a.
Well, it's weird the way that it's marketed because it's like it's Overwatch 2, but it's a really, really huge patch. Like,
Is there new maps or any?
yeah, there's 6 new maps, there's 3 new heroes. All the UI is different. Like the menus look better, everything's smoother. Some of the heroes got changed, but it's you don't have to pay for Overwatch 2, and Overwatch 1 literally like is a forced update. You can't play Overwatch 1 anymore at all. So
all those
everything,
old
like even
maps
if
are
you
gone?
put the disc, no, the maps are still there.
Okay.
Yeah, they kept all the maps, all the heroes. Like,
Okay.
The nicest thing, honestly, about it is that all of my settings and skins and everything
Oh.
transferred.
Nice.
So I started 2. I jumped into a match. All of my settings and my custom key bindings for like Zenyatta were already in place. Like,
Nice.
I jumped in and like it was the smoothest transition, honestly. Now the queue time to get into the game was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It's been clunky, like for the servers and everything. Once I got in, I didn't get kicked at all, which is nice. But I had to wait. It took me. I just let my Xbox sit there until I got in queue. But it took about half an hour to get in.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's not worth it to me.
Well, just because it's the first couple days,
No, I get it.
it'll be fixed.
I've been my kid booted up the campaign to Battlefield 4 accidentally, and I was like, oh.
I forgot there was a campaign.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's hard. I'm really good at that game, but the campaign's like brutal. I'm like,
Yeah?
oh, Jesus. Well, of course, it forces you to use guns that you're not familiar with, and then you're.
Right, you don't have the fucking straw and
Right.
the SR2, whatever you use.
So that got me. I've been playing multiplayer Battlefield 4 again.
Nice,
It's
dude.
still great, man. The only issue is the servers. Like, good luck finding open and good servers.
anything that's not Shanghai.
But if you can get into one, it's like, oh, this is still it, man. It's hard. People are gotten so good at that game. But
So there's a lot of people complaining about Overwatch 2, and I think it probably stems from that. It's like a game, even if it has a rocky start, if the fan base sticks with it and they keep patching it and they keep bringing out DLC. Because we didn't jump into Battlefield right away, but I heard that the launch of 4 was awful. Like it was buggy as fuck, and the sound cut out, and things were glitching and everything. But now that they fixed the game, it's been out so long that it's like they've pretty much addressed everything, and now it's so fucking solid.
yeah, you can just keep playing it.
So
Yeah.
people feel like that way about Overwatch 1. So jumping into 2, obviously it's a brand new, like there's going to be
Yeah.
so much shit that you cannot expect.
That's why I'm surprised you said it was such a smooth transition. Like that's a great start.
That's my experience. People are pissed about a bunch of different things. I don't know why.
It's all
Like,
they're all kids. They don't give a.
it's like you can't expect something to work perfectly on day one when like 10 million people are trying to get on the same fucking game.
When
and
are
they're
gonna-
just mad about the payment stuff. It's just like Halo where you have to like pay for, and Fortnite where you have to pay for skins.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I get it, but whatever. think about how much value you got out of. Let's just even say Skyrim. Say you only paid for Skyrim one time.
Yeah.
Let's say you bought the best edition for $80, and then let's say you even rebought the Legendary Edition for an extra $20 when they upgraded
You got $100.
it. So you spent $100, but how much do you get out of that over the course of like
A decade.
11 years?
Yeah.
So the fact that maybe you buy skins or you buy the battle pass, and over the course of a couple years you pay $250 for a game, I feel like that's still fair. People are just so used to like it's $60 and that's it, and I don't want to spend any more than that.
I don't think the money's the issue. It's if I'm going to put money into a game, it better be a good game.
Yeah.
That's all I expect.
Right.
And I admittedly, I'm not as patient with that because it's like, well, I just spent $60 because I want to play the game right fucking now.
Right.
And when I boot it up and it's like, well, half the game doesn't fucking work, and it's like, come on, guys.
Well, maybe that's the benefit of the free-to-play thing is like you boot it up and it's free, and it's if you don't like it, then you turn it back off.
And you can play it later.
If you do like it and you start to fall in love with it, then you can spend some money on skins.
Consider this. I want a real-time strategy Star Wars game
Empire at War.
but I want it built on the StarCraft, not platform, but idea where it's a balance of three. So it's the Scum, the Rebels,
And the
and the Empire.
Yeah.
Just do that. That's all I need.
It's really simple.
I'm not lying. That's a 20-year game.
Yeah.
I would play that over and over and over again.
Well, people still play StarCraft 1
I do.
and Warcraft 1 and Empire. Well, people still play Empire at War. You can get it on Steam.
I have it. Yeah, I actually own it on Steam. I haven't. The great thing about Empire at War was the in space battles. Holy shit, was that fun?
Yeah. They had both, right? They had planet side stuff too, right?
Yeah,
Walkers and shit. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because if you lost on the ground, it would go up into the space battle before you lost the sector. I don't know. I kind of made that word up, but like you wouldn't lose the planet until you lost the entire thing.
Right.
You lose the ground battle, then you go up into space, and if you win a space battle, you go back down to the ground.
That sounds like. Are you having flashbacks to Battlefront? That sounds like capital.
Maybe I'm
supremacy.
making half of it up, but but I do feel like there was that.
Any Empire at War veterans, let us know if that's real or not.
Yeah. But I remember the space battles were fucking fun. Like the interdictor ships would limit a lot of the other ships, like transmission wise, or like they would negate something. Oh my god! And positioning them in a certain way, and
Tractor beams. And shit.
Oh, dude! And they had tractor beams. Like you could slow ships down. Oh my god! It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. But just make that new and make it a
good one.
triumvirate.
A good one. Well,
Oh man!
the plan is clear for Star Wars. Do things properly.
Don't let Star Wars fans make Star Wars.
Yeah, and take your time. That's really all I have to say. Take your time. I'll wait if it's good. I'll start to get pissed and impatient if you pump things out fast and I don't like them.
You know what I always like doing?
What do you like?
And
What do you like doing?
I like doing, have you seen the new thing about like creating a draft? Like we draft our own. So there's been random ones where like on TikTok, they're just like two guys and like, okay, we're gonna do a draft back and forth, best cereals, and then you draft one and I go and we go back and forth, and then we look at who has the best list.
Okay.
I like that idea. Maybe I can't think of one off the top of my head, which is rare. But
That is rare.
that is rare. But we could potentially do something like that.
Okay. Sounds fun.
Best childhood
Best child.
shows.
Best children.
So, but yeah, or like retro video games.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Consoles.
I mean, I haven't played enough consoles.
That's true. You only had 2 your whole life.
But like if we like,
You're a poor English child.
let's do top 3 right now. Right now.
3 draft.
Best video games of all time.
Okay, and we can't pick the same one because we're drafting
No,
them from
that's
the pool.
that's
right?
the point. Yeah.
Which is more interesting than the favorites list because we always tend to be like, oh, Skyrim, Mass Effect, and Battlefield.
But those are gonna.
and we pick the same 3.
I mean, that's on our. I mean, it's got to be on the list. Those are some of the greatest games of all time.
I'm gonna shoot for a shooter, an RPG, and a strategy, but we'll see how it plays out. So we're all time, all console.
Yeah. Well, who's gonna go first? We got to do rock paper scissors.
You can go first.
Oh.
That'll be nice.
What?
So the issue is because I didn't set any parameters. I want to say Mass Effect, but does that include all three? Like, is it as a series?
I think we can be flexible and say like the Mass Effect. Well, no, because I can't just say all of Elder Scrolls. I'd have to pick Skyrim, you know. So you have to be specific. Say Mass Effect 3 or 1.
Fine, Skyrim.
This actually might be easier for me because usually when we do this, you say Skyrim and then I'm like, oh, I also love Skyrim, and then I can't think of anything.
But you
else.
have a lot.
But now I can't pick Skyrim. I'll say Overwatch.
Oh, that's okay.
I will say Overwatch. I really love it. I really do.
You'll leave me easy ones. KOTOR.
No. Yeah, I can understand how
Skyrim, KOTOR,
how I fucked that up.
Yep.
But you got 2 RPGs though. Okay.
That's all I want to play.
That's all okay. I can see that. KOTOR 1 or 2.
1.
Some people are pissed. They like the second one better.
Those people are called wrong.
Those people are called wrong. Oh man. I thought it was going to be an easier one, but
Yeah. You fucked up.
I'm happy with my choice. I'm sad that I lost both Skyrim and KOTOR though. So I'll say Mass Effect, and if I have to narrow it down to one, I'll say Mass Effect 3.
Fuck. I was gonna go all
Triple
all,
RPGs, baby.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I know my next one. We're good.
Um.
And you can't steal it because there's other options.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw one out there that I
I feel like you should just take Battlefield. Like put a shooter in it.
no. I think I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna do just Mario 64.
Okay.
I still love that game. I think it's still playable.
It is.
I truly enjoy.
Speaking of Mario,
Yeah,
the trailer came out for the Mario movie.
I'll do Mario 64.
I'll take. Fuck! I just spaced. I had it in my head. Shit.
Elden Ring,
No, Dark Souls. Yeah.
Dark Souls
I'll actually go Dark Souls 3.
over Elden Ring. I mean, it's wrong.
I might go Dark Souls 1. I don't know. It's
Dark
got
Souls 1 is
nostalgia.
not the answer.
It's got serious nostalgia factor though.
Yeah. Is it as replayable as like Elden Ring? I feel like
It was before Elden Ring came out.
well,
It was before 3 came out. That's why it was hard to pick Mass Effect 2. Like
So-
1 is great, but then 2 makes improvements. Then you're like,
Yeah,
well,
3 is-
it's easier to play,
Yeah.
and then 3 makes improvements.
I'll argue for your own third pick as for Elden Ring because I feel like because I have Skyrim, I have that open world where Elden Ring would almost like fit that void
Yeah,
and
that's
also
true.
give you the Dark Souls aspects. I don't
That's
know.
fair. No, that's fair. That's fair.
Plus, it's fucking beautiful.
It is.
I should have picked it honestly over.
Dark Souls 1 just has an aura about it, though.
That's where I get the KOTOR. Like KOTOR has that aura.
I almost want to say the first one, though. It just has that.
Well, then I picked Elden
Like-
Ring for 4.
No, we're not doing 4, you bitch.
Oh!
All right, so I've got Dark Souls,
1.
Overwatch, which is technically, I guess, Overwatch 2 now because they're the same game, and Mass Effect 3.
Yep.
I think that's fair.
I got Skyrim,
We got a shooter, an adventure, and an action, or an RPG.
Skyrim, KOTOR, Super Mario. Mario 64 is maybe an accident.
It's tough, man. There's like, again, like every time we go to a list, I'm like, well, what are the parameters, dude?
Yeah.
Because like the retro games, I have a place in my heart for.
We should
But
separate.
when's the last time I played Batman Returns?
And what would
know?
you consider retro? 20 years old?
I would say PS1 and earlier.
At this point, it's got to be just like 20. I mean, KOTOR next year will be 20 years old.
Yeah. That's true. Fuck. Shit ass. Fuck.
I gotta get a KOTOR tattoo now. Next year.
It's a fucking visor.
Plus 10.
Or like the goggles. Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, you know what would be really funny? I don't want to say this because someone's going to steal it. Someone's probably already got it. But just the little miss dialogue when you like fucking slash the door and it misses.
Miss.
Yeah,
Dude,
just-
I
yeah.
flurried at the fucking door.
Right. 3 flurries just totally whiffed. Miss. You got it.
I love it.
Or you could get Lord Malik as most displeased.
Lord Mouse pissed.
Just get it like wrapped around your arm. Or just all the way down. What Malcolm was just pleased when you learn your taste.
The whole thing. All right. Well,
Well, that was fun. We could do maybe like a little 3-round draft at the end of every episode with different categories.
Yeah, and it can.
Energy drink,
I
beer.
love the more random, the better. Like I've seen chips, literally top. Most people do 5. Top 5
Favorite type of light bulb?
LED.
Halogen.
See, I got it. Good day, Galaxy. No, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Shout out to everybody who was live with us.
Yeah.
I know we're a day late, but we wanted to get Andor in.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was. If we have the option to do it in person, even if it's a day later, a couple days late, and I think that's kind of like the way we go about it. So, yeah, it's good. I think maybe Thursdays are good because then we get to make sure we see the most recent Andor episode.
Yeah,
too.
at this point, but
So, but yes, thanks everyone for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying Andor as much as we are, and House of the Dragon as well. But yeah, episode 315. And what else do you want to say to these fan fuckers here?
fuck you.
Okay, we love you. Okay. Goodbye.